Hey, Torii Hunter joins the Power Trip Morning Show now. Hi, Torii. How are you?
All right. How are you?
That was weird. We just heard Meat Sauce call you, and he's like, "Hey, Torii Hunter, it's Meat Sauce. How are you?" Did that terrify you? Are you used to a voice like Meat Sauce's?
Yeah, Meat Sauce is that's a different name, man. It's just when you hear Meat Sauce, it can go a lot of different ways, and in my mind, I don't want it to go down that drain.
Yeah, he's scarier in person, Torii.
Yeah. It fits, though. It fits.
Torii, we're going to get controversial right off the top. Let's dive right into this. Did you hear this nonsense about what Red Lobster's doing? They're going to limit the amount of Cheddar Bay biscuits you can have to 2 per entree. The days of unlimited Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster are over. Your thoughts?
Yep. Yeah, whatever you say.
Come on, you've never had them?
Nope, never.
Oh,
See,
dude.
I'm not the only one. I've never had them either.
Do you not like Red Lobster? Do you not like seafood? Do you just not get the biscuits? What's the deal? How come you've never been there?
Well, the biscuits are great. The biscuits, I've been there. I had the biscuits, but I'm not a big fan of Red Lobster.
Because of their biscuit policy.
Yeah, and maybe. There's so many Red Lobsters here in Fort Myers, Florida. When I was down in the minor leagues, I think we ate all those biscuits because I think they were free.
Yeah, they were.
So on the minor, yeah. So I just never really ate the food. I just went and ate the biscuits and left.
Exactly. Yes, that is the right answer. That's the problem. They were unlimited and free, and now they're going to limit it to 2 per entree. What a joke.
That sucks. That sucks, man. It used to be unlimited. A guy like me we were making like $700 a month in the minor leagues, and that was a great meal. Biscuits.
Torii, as you're talking about that, let me ask you, and obviously we're going to talk about the Twins getting started today and all the excitement of a brand new season, but was there anything that, like the romantic version of the AAA or AA days for every Major League Baseball player was, yeah, it was tough, but those were the good old days. Do you look at it like that? Did you have fun traveling around by bus and such like that?
I mean, you know what? Sometimes you just want to go through a process, and at the time while I was going through the process, I didn't like it. I'm pretty sure no one likes the point where you're failing and different things like that. But on the other side of failure, I always tell my grandkids, what's on the other side of failure? And I tell them success. And so they always are embedded in their head because everything is not going to be easy. So while I was going through that minor league system and we were traveling on the buses, we were eating Subway and Taco Bell every day for lunch. And, when we go through those things, you complain about it. But when you get out and get on the other side of that thing, you get to the major leagues, you're doing your thing, and you're enjoying your dream. It's actually more gratifying, and you appreciate it more. But if I just skip the process, I really wouldn't understand how to appreciate it. So in anything that you do, not just baseball, but anything you do, you have to get through that obstacle, that mountain, and climb it and get to the other side.
Torii, the one thing about this Twins team is the health of Byron Buxton. Everybody talks about how, maybe he plays too recklessly, and the Twins have always had great center fielders, Kirby Puckett, you, and now Byron Buxton. What is your advice? What would you tell Byron about how aggressively he plays and how it may cause some of the injuries that keep him out?
See, I'm the wrong guy to ask that to because, I've run into so many walls and did all these things. I didn't have the injuries he had, I guess it's a way to run into the wall. It sounds weird, but there's a certain way to run into the wall. I know he runs into the wall full bore crash, like on the cartoon when Tom and Jerry used to run through the wall and they leave his body print. And I think Buxton runs through the wall like that. And so it's some things that we can kind of clean up, but I would never tell him to stop being aggressive. That's something I couldn't do. Because now you're telling Buxton not to be Byron Buxton. And then when Buxton can't be Byron Buxton, you guys are not going to like him anymore.
Were you standing there yesterday watching as the team put in their first full squad workout?
Yeah, I'm here now. I was sitting, I watched him, I watched all the players. They had a good time, man. There's something about the first full day of workout, man. It's like you did all this work in the off season. You had your 4 or 5 months off, and you hung out with your family. You did all the things. Now you're with your baseball family, so it's good to see the guys again. And you're getting in this groove to get ready for the season. And the sun is shining. You're working on your tan like myself. And so there's a lot of things that's just positive in the beginning. And then that game, once the game starts, that's when everything's like, oh my God, my swing sucks. My body hurts. My ankles, my feet hurt because of these spikes. I didn't wear no spikes in all-season training. So a lot of things change it's going to change on Friday when they play the Gophers.
All right, Torii Hunter joins the Power Trip Morning Show now. And Torii, clearly it looks like this team is slated to jack a whole bunch of home runs again, just like they did last year when they broke the Major League record. But the big concern, even with Josh Donaldson added to the roster this offseason, is the starting pitching. Has the team done enough in your mind to kind of squash those worries?
I think the team is, done enough. I mean, we have definitely some hitting. We can hit with most major league teams in baseball. I think the Twins and the Yankees are probably tit for tat as far as power and hitting home runs. But I definitely think we have the pitcher staff. We got Rich Hill coming back maybe in June or somewhere around there, July. I don't know for sure, but he's coming back. You got Pineda who's coming around the same time. So I think down the line, I think our team is stacked to win this division and go on to the playoffs again.
Last year, Torii, this team won 101 games, and of course they ran into the Yankees and lost in the playoffs. But yesterday, when Rocco spoke to the team, he used the two words World Series. Should this team right away, right in February, have World Series aspirations?
Man, World Series start in October. We'll know once we get to the playoffs. So you got to win the division first. Let's focus on winning that division first, and focus on those small victories. But the goal and the mission is to win the World Series for every baseball club. Right now, on the first day of spring training, today, everybody says, I want to win the World Series. You never know. The team that you don't expect to win the World Series could win the World Series. So today, for everybody, their mission is to win the World Series. But the goal, the small victory, the small goal right now, let's focus on winning this division. And you focus on the small things, focus on the small victories. I think that's what we need to do. Focus on the task at hand.
Torii, if everybody throws at Astros hitters this year, how does that make you feel?
So what now?
If everybody starts throwing at Astros hitters to retaliate for the cheating, how does that make you feel?
That'd be terrible, man. Look, they got caught. The punishment, I guess, for the players didn't go as planned for a lot of people. But there was no rules in place. And you got to go through the Players Association. They're protected by the Players Association. And then you got the coaches who got suspended. They're not protected by the Players Association, so it's easy to suspend those guys for a year and also fire somebody. So I just don't understand the process of wanting these guys to get punished. But eventually down the line, there should be a punishment for it, for banging trash cans. I guess that's never happened before, but. There's going to be a punishment here going forward, but right now there's nothing there. So you're going to have a problem with the Players Association, and I agree with it. So yeah, I mean it's sad that these guys have cheated and did all those things, but at the same time we don't know who cheated. We don't know who really cheated. Nobody's really said they did cheat. They apologized for not cheating, but apologized for this situation. But right now you just kind of let it go. Let's see what happens next time. Put a punishment in place. If somebody does this next time, guess what? 80 games to a year or banned. I don't know. So we'll see.
Torii, would your opinion change if you were on that Dodgers team that lost to them in the World Series?
So what?
Would your opinion change if you were on that Dodgers team that lost to them in the World Series?
No, I don't think it'll change too much. But I'll be concerned. But it's one thing I wouldn't do is talk about the other player because you don't know who cheated. I wouldn't talk about one player because you don't know for a fact who cheated. You just know that they did. You heard some banging or whatever. But there's like Correa. One thing I like about Correa when he came back with it is like they threw some balls away. A lot of things happened that they could have really won some games and won the World Series, but it just didn't happen because they made some mistakes. So it ain't necessarily this banging of a trash that can help you win the game. There's so many things. Like I knew what pitches were coming because guys tipped their pitches. I knew what was coming, still didn't get a hit, still popped up, and still struck out. So baseball's hard, man. It's a hard game to just say, but it's actually better if I know what's coming. So it's like a give and take, a catch-22. I can't really complain about it because I love my players. I would never go against them. I forgive them. I forgive them. Everybody gets second chances. They messed up, but don't do it again.
Again, Torii Hunter, the great Torii Hunter, is our guest. Thanks to the Minnesota Twins. He's down in Florida as the Twins begin full-on spring training right now. Torii, I'm going to ask you a weird question, so stay with me, if you would, for a moment. So, as you are 44 years old right now and retired for, I believe this will be your 5th season since you've retired, what if you were facing a major league hitter right now? Would you still see the ball as well as you used to, but your reaction time would be slower because of age? Or would you not see it as well as you used to, and that's why maybe you wouldn't be as effective? Or do you feel like right now that's the one part of your game you would still be able to take care of?
So you saying if I face a pitcher today, would I be able to see the ball as well?
Yeah, right. I wonder what, as a hitter, what you start to experience when you realize that you're coming to the end of your career.
Well, I just got my vision test, and it was better than most of the players on the team. So,
yeah, that's a good answer, right?
Yeah, you know what? I retired. I was real tired of baseball. When I didn't retire, I was real tired of baseball. My mind left me, not my body.
Huh.
So my body still feels good. My body still looks good for my wife. So, so if I play today and you give me a spring training, 6 weeks of training, I'll probably go out there and put up some numbers that you'll like.
How many current Twins are you better than?
None of them. Those are my guys. All of them are good. There's a pretty good young talent that we have, man, with the addition of JD, the bringer of rain. I definitely think these guys are going to put up some numbers. They're a great defensive team. They got some power. They score runs. And you know, I think we're going to get it done this year. So I can never say these guys are good. They're really good. Their mentalities are totally different than ours. So I love what they do.
Torii, appreciate the time, man. Have fun in Florida.
All right, thank you guys, man. I'm going to go lay out nude right quick.
Cool. I'll be right over.
Yep, send pictures. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, bye.
See ya. Yep.
There you go. I think I offended him.
No,
we just asked to have him send nudes at the end, so I think he's.
I don't think
right.
we offended him.
No, you get my point,
Great
though?
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so if you can still see it, but again, in his opinion, he was still physically able to play when he was done.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.